Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001! Because between you and me, they're way past cool!
Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001, and oh yeah, I make custom toys, don't I? So let's get right into it with this commission for Zeus the Fox, and it is Omnimon, Merciful mode. Yes, I don't really know much about Digimon outside of Digimon Frontier and the original Digimon Adventure, but apparently this is one of them fusion things. I'm seeing a Garurumon head is the right arm, and a Greymon head looking like thing is the left arm, so yeah, that's what I'm going on. Anyway, this is kind of like a whim thing for Zeus because he was trying to find an Omnimon figure, and he managed to get this damaged one on the cheap. The figure was mostly intact, but it was missing its accessories and the wings. But aside from that, it looked pretty good to him, so he asked me if I could customize it into the Merciful mode, which did seem pretty doable. So the figure itself is fairly easy to dismantle. Like, it's one of those kinds where the body is a hard shell, but it's held with screws. So by undoing some screws, you can pull the body apart. And then things go pretty good. The hardest part was like making sure everything was a uniform white, because anyone who's painted toys knows how difficult it is to paint anything white. For the torso and center of mass, at least, like, they're already a certain shade of white, so making them like a slightly different white isn't too big a trial. So yeah, like his chest plate and his back, his crotch and his is that his butt? I guess I'm gonna call it his butt. Like, this thing barely has a midsection, so I guess, like, you know, a Digimon's battle mode isn't really meant to be an organism that has, like, organs and would need to digest anything. Like, it only needs to look cool for a battle sequence, and then it can de-digivolve back into a base state, which looks like it makes more sense as an organism. Like, not by much, but, you know, like, when you look at Agumon and oh crap, I forgot his name. The one that Garurumon evolves into? Gabumon. Yes. You can look at Gabumon and Agumon and say, like, oh yeah, that's the thing. Is Vmon part of this? Because, like, the head looks a little bit like a Vmon now that I think about it. Is it? Like, really, I don't know anything about Omnimon, and I probably should have at least looked it up on Wikipedia, because I'm pretty sure there are some Digimon fans out there who are trying to look up my address so that they can come over to my house and beat the crap out of me for butchering this history. Yeah, so that's, oh, by the way, this head is tiny, and getting all these details on there was really tough, so you're welcome. Let's see, what else? Okay, here was the hard painting part. The arms. The arms, first of all, they didn't have their accessories, so I had to make them from scratch. In this case, the cannon and the katana are 3D printed. Let's start with the cannon. This is one of the last objects that I 3D printed with my older printer, because I was able to do it vertically. And this shape, you know, just happens to lend itself well to that basic printer. And once the arm that had the Garurumon head was painted white with all those light blue detailings, I just had to drill a hole so that it could fit onto the peg hole where the original cannon arm went. And there you go. You have an arm that can also be a cannon. Like, I imagine that this thing just kind of opens up and horks out this giant cannon that's longer than the rest of the arm, and I find that amusing. The katana is something that I wouldn't have been able to print on my old printer because it's too long. Like, it wouldn't fit in my printer space. But since my new printer is much bigger, I was able to make it. So, yay. And the arm that was the Greymon head was a little bit more of a challenge to paint because the way that the mouth opens, like, a part of it covers up another part of it, so it meant painting and sealing it while the mouth was closed, then opening the mouth and then painting and sealing the inside of it as well as the lower jaw, and then sealing it again. So it was just a process that took longer because you have to wait for paint to dry on 2 surfaces instead of just 1. But there is a peg hole inside of the mouth, and the katana I made can fit into it. Fortunately, the plastic on the inside of the mouth is soft enough that it compensates for the stiffness of the PLA-type plastic that the sword, and for that matter the barrel, are made out of. And all that left were the Merciful Mode wings. I did try to print the wings based off of the model, but even for my new printer, that's just too complicated a job. They're too thin, and those feather details are just way too intricate. Like, the feathers were getting completely lost inside of the support medium, and, like, my printer was literally throwing pieces of plastic around as it didn't know what to do with the feathers. So, I just took a pair of wings that had been sent to me as part of a fodder bin to do with as I please, and I painted them white. I don't remember the name of the person who sent these things to me, but, like, they were transparent green and had sparkles in them, so you probably know who you are based on that description. So yeah, once painted white, I drilled holes into the figure's back. The holes go into the original pegs where the figure's original wings went, except now instead of pegs, they're holes. And the wings had to be glued in there because they were too heavy. They can still flap back and forth, but they can't rotate up and down. So, sorry Zeus, if you really wanted it to do that, it's not going to be able to. But yeah, with all that said and done, this is the completed Omnimon Merciful mode. So yeah, you got a figure that is very white and light blue, looking like an angelic chimera, I want to say. I mean, I guess he kind of would literally be an angelic chimera. With all the decent articulation that this figure delivers, like, really, this thing, it has, like, knee swivels, universal hip joints, a waist joint, a neck swivel, it has elbows, the hands are opening mouths. Really, the only thing that I would say is, like, a negative is that the shoulders are only swivel cuts. They go forward and backwards. There's no in and out movement with them, and there's no bicep swivel. I feel like if it had, like, universal shoulders and bicep swivels, and this would probably be, like, a really good modern figure. But, you know, like, I think this figure was originally produced in the early to mid-2000s, which explains the more basic articulation. But yes, you can totally plug those accessories in to have him in his Merciful battle mode, where I'm hoping that the reason he called Merciful is because these weapons can kill you as quickly and painlessly as possible, because, wow, that does, that looks pretty vicious with that katana coming out of a dragon's mouth and a giant cannon coming out of a wolf's mouth. Like, what the heck? So yeah, that's all well and good. We have Omnimon Merciful mode. So yeah, I gotta get to making some more figures. I got Frenzied Bedlam to finish. Then I got the girls from Freedom Planet. I gotta fix up Riala and DJ Octavio's humanoid mode. Gotta make some characters from Sonic Shuffle. Got a whole bunch of stuff that I gotta catch up on, and I gotta do like a bunch of Princess Sally's too. Like that, coincidentally, that's coming up soon, and things, lots of things. Oh gosh, Wake Angel 2001, what have you done to yourself? Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video and are bigger fans of Digimon than I am. And I thank you all for watching. This is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.